was in the shower just now and I was like, low protein diets are so difficult. It made me think back on my journey with learning about the essential amino acids. Like, when you look at this, where does the serotonin come from? It comes from tryptophan. And then this gets broken down into melatonin. Large amounts of tryptophan found in higher amounts of animal-based protein. The same thing with methionine and lysine. These two actually, they work together. They synthesize together to produce carnitine, which is the second step of the electron transport chain in the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. There's many mitochondria to be found. Many, many, many. And they can build more themselves. They have their own DNA. Mitochondria is everything. Methionine and lysine, getting enough of that to build carnitine, it's everything. The second step, if the second step is not happening, no energy from the mitochondria, right? There's like 4 main steps, allegedly. And that's the second step. If not enough carnitine, then we got energetic diseases, we got metabolic diseases. Tryptophan is also a huge important part of our ability to go into the deep delta wave sleep state. These are the brainwave states. I always talk about these. But tryptophan, because it builds into melatonin, is a big reason why we're able to drop down into these deep restorative states, and our immune system comes alive. And as we age, we lose this ability. As we go through disease states, we lose this ability. So it's so important. We need to go through all those stages of repair at night. You build me up, you break me down just to build me back up again in the daylight. We go in the sun. The sun is breaking down the tryptophan, creating serotonin. We know when we go in the sunlight, we create serotonin. We create most of our melatonin. Same thing where we're working out. Breaking down tryptophan, creating serotonin, creating melatonin. The cycle is in your favor. So I was like, a low protein diet, when I was on a low protein diet, really difficult for me. I was on an SSRI, serotonin reuptake inhibitor, and it doesn't help you to produce any extra serotonin. It doesn't fix the issue, the root cause. And, a lot of the conversation I've been having lately, and it like makes me nervous to talk about it because people have such differing opinions and it's like emotional, but it amazes me that like one cow could feed a family of 4 for a year. And it's so sustainable for the environment, and we all have this idea that it's like unsustainable to eat meat because it's been like hammered down in our consciousness, and yet our health rates have worsened at such a fast pace, hormone disruptions, everything. And when we eat those proteins, not only are we getting, it's like these amino acids, they translate into, when we don't get animal proteins, we're missing B vitamins. We're missing fatty acids in like bioavailable form. There's so much, like people talk about collagen, where you're going to get the most collagen from. It's just a bunch of amino acids. I feel like I don't know enough to even be talking about all of this anyway. I just feel really passionate about it, and I feel passionate about diabetes, understanding that, insulin resistance. So many people are struggling and they don't need to be. And I think it's interesting that people go on certain diets, like even a vegan diet, and then you're going to supplement creatine. It's like, where is this in its whole form, most bioavailable form? Why are we trying to make it all complicated? Does lab-grown supplementation, is it as bioavailable as its natural form? And I just want to say, I'm not against supplementation. I'm just against us not understanding that everything that we need really does come from our food. And maybe things are more sustainable than what we've been taught to believe. Like pesticides, herbicides, and monocultures and whatever. Maybe it's not good for the environment, A lot of us don't even know that like certain fruits and vegetables are seasonal. I didn't know this growing up. I just thought like everything was available. Like you could buy bananas all year round, but like the climate, our bodies, our hormone profile responds to the climate that we're in. So like Ayurvedic science is a good one to look at for how our biochemistry changes during the winter. We tend to become more insulin resistant because too, the days are shorter. There's more darkness related to melatonin. Melatonin is related to insulin resistance. So like our bodies, our biochemistry changes with the season. Climate is within. There's internal climate going on. This masculine feminine balance, this testosterone or cortisol, fight or flight or rest and digest, on switches, off switches, this balance, this rhythm. So that's what I was thinking about in the shower. I was having a tough time when I was like on a low protein diet, missing all those B vitamins. B vitamins are like, if you Google like B vitamin biochemistry, again, I just don't know enough about it, but major energy, like the B vitamins are seen, they say, as cofactors. So like there's a process when I eat the tryptophan, there's a process of it breaking down and splitting off and becoming the molecule of serotonin. And in that process, the B vitamins go in as like little lightning bolts for this process, like huge amounts of energy breakdown. They're seen as cofactors. So I'm going to be a co-regulator to this process that's already happening. But if I have B vitamins, we know that's like B vitamin complex. Pick up your energy. A lot of people get B vitamin shots. Like, again, your best bioavailable form is in the animal-based proteins. That's why I eat a lot of ground beef and eggs. Keep it simple. If you don't have the monetary means, and that's the huge important part, is like not everybody has access to a private chef, or we just don't have the time. People have to be in their normal everyday life. So for me, I love ground beef and eggs. It's super simple. I'll put it with other things like rice and potatoes. And I do eat other things, of course. I was laughing with somebody today, actually. They were like, we were talking about a carnivore diet at work. It was a little bit slow. And they were like, Rachel, is that what you do, like a carnivore diet? And I was like, I always prioritize my protein first. That's why you see me eating my beef and my eggs. But if like someone slips and happens to drop a cheesecake in my mouth, like I'm not gonna cry about it, Like I love cheesecake. I love sweets and desserts. Like if you're gonna eat something sweet, enjoy it. Like if you are eating something sweet, like you're eating this beautiful cheesecake, and in your mind the whole time, I shouldn't be eating this. This is bad for me. Blah 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 blah. Like, yeah, you shouldn't be eating it because you have these thoughts. And if you go against these thoughts, you're in conflict, at war with yourself. But if you prioritize your proteins first, you hydrated your body first, gave plenty of minerals, and then you decided to play where your cortisol, your blood sugar is more stable, you get to enjoy it. And that's what I do. I said, if you drop this cheesecake, I'm not going to cry about it because I love cheesecake. So that was a few things. I also wanted to talk about migraines. What is your migraine really saying? Your migraine is really screaming to you, I'm dehydrated. I don't have enough minerals in my brain right now. I don't only need water, I need minerals and nutrients. Again, going back to the amino and fatty acids. So I woke up with a headache the other day. And I used to wake up with headaches all the time. I used to get Charlie horses in my sleep. I was struggling with depression, anxiety, skin stuff all the time. Struggling with my weight, confidence, everything. And anyway, I woke up the other day, had a headache, ate some ground beef, and boom, my headache did surely vanish so fast, so quickly. It was like my brain, your brain a lot of times, it just needs minerals and nutrients. And it was cool today. I was talking to someone about the ketogenic diet, allegedly founded to cure epileptic seizures. That's so interesting. That's something used to help heal the brain energy. They call it the keto diet. So what if you treated every time you had a headache, you were just like, damn, my brain's just dehydrated. It's not that I have a headache. Like, my brain is thirsty, hungry, starving. And it's asking me for something. The brain, they say, spends 20 to 30% of our total body's energy all day long. So muscle is literally battery packs. It's our largest endocrine organ, largest hormone organ. And Then you can go and talk about osteopenia, osteoporosis. This is just sacred dehydration. This is depletion of the minerals. So if you are on a high protein diet, high mineral diet, you are replenishing all this. You're getting, excuse me, I had a little internal burp. You're getting so many vitamins and nutrients, literally everything that the body needs. Everything your soul needs to do a backflip, you know? Low protein diets, they're hard. Props to people who try to do it. Me, a long time ago, I was having issues with the low protein diet, and we just pick that protein intake up and like feel so much better. So much better. And sunlight and a whole bunch of other stuff too. So you're your best supplement. I'm gonna leave this here. If you want, I've been liking to do this, but you never know what you're gonna get. We'll read a random page. This one is from another David Hawkins book, Dr. David Hawkins, Letting Go: The Pathway of Surrender. I really liked this book. So random, maybe it's not random. Every great teacher since the beginning of time has said to look within and find the truth. I made a video the other day, was like, what if Jesus had a microscope? Like, he would just be talking about the mitochondria. Like, really? That's so funny. Mitochondria is where we get most of our light. That's where the truth is. For the truth of what we really are will set us free. If what is to be found within ourselves were something to feel guilty about, something that is rotten, evil, and negative, then all the world's teachers would not advise us to look there. On the contrary, they would tell us to avoid it at all cost. We will deliver that all of the things that the world calls evil are right on the surface. They are right on the top, as the superficial, outer thin layer. Beneath these errors is mistakenness. We are not rotten, only ignorant. You want me to keep reading? I'll keep reading. That was really good. As the quantity of guilty fear and the energy accompanying it are relinquished, we will notice that physical diseases and symptoms begin to disappear. The capacity to love ourselves in the form of increased self-esteem returns, and with it comes the capacity to love others. Being freed from guilt brings about renewal of energy. This can be dramatically witnessed in many people who are converted through religious experience. The sudden freedom from guilt through the mechanism of forgiveness is responsible for thousands of recoveries from serious and advanced diseases. Whether or not we agree with religious concepts is immaterial. What is important to notice is that the alleviation of guilt is accompanied by a resurgence of life energy, well-being, and physical health. And this is just going back to the high protein, like, hydrate the body, take care, nourish deeply. This note from, I don't know when I read this book, Inflammation on Purpose. Exercise is inflammation on purpose. Those who are dedicated to the truth are shown the truth. You got this. We got this. I'm gonna go. Write down your dreams. They only benefit you, you know? You're the only one who's able to interpret those dreams. Somebody told me today, they were like, Rachel, I had a dream. You were in my dream the other day. And I was like, really? I was like, well, it's just a reflection of you. Because everything in your dream, like, it's never about anybody else, you know? There's journey, like they say, like with psychedelic experiences too. Anything like you would encounter out of yourself, like, look within. It's all within. This is only you. So your dream state is only you. And teaching you lessons, your subconscious, bring it to the conscious state. It's amazing that we can even have the capacity to dream. That goes back to the delta wave sleep state, the serotonin, melatonin, tryptophan cycle. This ability to recover and restore the memory centers, to consolidate. And it's so beautiful. You are so gorgeous. I'm going to go because I feel like I'm just rambling, but I do love you so much. I hope you get something valuable from this video. If you want to like, share, and subscribe, you're more than welcome to. But as always, I do wish you the best of luck.